The future of Colorado is the question I have.
Let's talk about this shit show.
What is the future of Colorado? That's the real question I have for you. What? Okay. Break it down.
Future of the Colorado Buffaloes. I don't think Coach Prime leaves. I think he would have already. He would have used the health as his reason. He didn't. I think he comes back. I think the pressure on him. Look, I got some information yesterday that I can't talk about on media. But there's
who's it from?
Who told you?
People that are associated with the program.
What's their last names?
Nope, you ain't getting me, motherfucker. I think that there's a real possibility that Coach Prime literally restaffs fucking everybody. Because, and I'm just going to say this, and I know this will piss people off, and I don't give a shit. I've got 12 guys going up on Saturday to get recruited. They invited my son up again. There's all this, like, I get this on my show constantly, 0 to 60. It'll be on at noon today with Bailey. But, like, oh, how can you say this? They're going to blackball you. And I'm like, fucking blackball me then. It's never happened before. It will never happen. It's never happened. Never going to happen.
Shit's over, yeah.
So my thing is here, I think we're looking at a situation where Prime tried to hire guys that he was really comfortable with, that he knows that are his buddies. And no offense to Marshall Falk, he's never coached before. No offense to Warren Sapp, he's never really coached before. Pecco's never coached before. Livingston's been an NFL defensive coordinator. Well, there's a lot of differences between the NFL and college football.
They don't translate,
especially
man.
with 11-on-11 football, right? Like, I know that there's running quarterbacks in the NFL, but they ain't running the ball like motherfucking, dude from Georgia Tech, Hayes King, the rookie quarterback from BYU, or that kid from Utah last year. So there's a lot of differences there. I feel like there's tons of unneeded baggage. There's a bunch of guys up there that are on the payroll that don't really do anything, in my opinion. So I think that will be the first. You as a head coach will know that before you go, they go. So I think that there's going to be a lot of turnover in the coaching staff. And then this is the next part. And I'm pleading at this point with CU. And Bailey can attest to this. I've been doing it for like almost a month now. If you don't start honoring the high school player and recruiting all of them the way that you recruited Juju and Seton, that's what I don't understand. They went out and got 5-star Jordan Seton high school player. It seemed to work out pretty well. The Juju thing, we don't know yet because that's a different conversation we're going to have here in a minute. I put up a vertical of this yesterday that Bailey did, and we're talking about, like, why isn't he ready? We'll talk about that in a minute. But they went after those two hard and gave them a ton of money. But then they literally neglect the state. And I'm not saying the state of Colorado is the best, but goddamn it, we got big dudes, and they all go SEC. So maybe we should be evaluating them harder and recruiting them harder and developing them more. And you have a little pride in your institution and in your program because you got a little homegrown talent on the field. But Coach Prime doesn't recruit, so he's got to change the way he does things. Like, I understand that you're special and you're Coach Prime and everybody loves you. Do you know how much, for example, Reese Russell? Okay, Reese Russell is Matt Russell's son. Matt Russell won the Buckus at Colorado in 1996. Okay, he's one of my best friends. Great man. He's on the he's one of the head scouts and liaisons for the Eagles. Okay, had a brief NFL career due to injury. His son Reese is one of my guys. I've known him since he was a whip. He's been in my program forever. He's a prick. He's nasty. He's mean. He's big. He's fast. He's got 15 offers. CU was the 15th. They should be rolling out the gold carpet to keep this kid at home. He's going to go to Nebraska or Washington. They don't recruit him. We're not going to get him, so why try? His fucking dad's bio hangs in the team room. So that's just one example of neglecting easy opportunity. Do you understand what it would mean if Coach Gerard and Gunner and Coach Prime walked into Valor High School with Mike Sanford, who was the intern coach there, who's now at Valor? Everybody knows Mike, and said, hey, Mike Sanford, we want to sit down with Reese Russell and make sure he doesn't leave Colorado. He needs to be our center for the next 5 years because Coach Prime's got 6 more years left on his contract.
So, but man, is he going to home visit, though, with his health?
This is where I'm getting to. So the fact that he won't do that, and then he, in turn, relies on 38, count them, 38 seniors and grad transfers on one team. There were 11 seniors on my 2004 team, and I was the only one that started on defense. 38 seniors is not good. That means you got 37 guys who can't fucking play. And I've seen that all year. I've seen a bunch of guys come in from the transfer portal, with the exception of Hill. All right, the big left guard that they brought in from Memphis, that kid is a fucking monster. But, Big Larry, he's been good. The offensive line the O-line's been pretty good. Other than that, though, bro, the transfers they brought in and then the guys they let leave, Hill Green starting for Alabama, balling the fuck out of linebacker, let him leave. Hood is a Butkus Award finalist at Tennessee, let him leave. They decided to give that money to a rookie quarterback instead of pay their guys that were already there. And now you're seeing what happens. So I think that they've got to change their philosophy altogether. Just because they're old and in the transfer portal does not mean they're good. In fact, I think it's the other way. If you're old and in the transfer portal and still waiting, because this is the difference. When my guys go in the transfer portal, i.e. we'll use Drake Nugent as an example, went to Stanford for 3 years, started for 2, all Pac-12, got his degree. Before he was even considering entering the transfer portal, we knew where he was going to go. So he got it. He graduated from Stanford, got done playing, entered the portal. 5 minutes later, he signed with Michigan, and it was over because it was already done. These guys that are sitting there being recruited and courted in the transfer portal are not good players. They need to go down a level to learn how to play college football. We need to be looking at guys that we need to bring up, or maybe you just need to play all your young guys and recruit the way that you're supposed to recruit. I don't understand why, with all the resources and all the coaches, they've got they've got 3 coaches at every position. One of those guys can't be totally and unequivocally committed to the recruitment and development of the next generation. So they seem to me like they're on a year-to-year NFL type of like mindset, but Coach Prime's there for the long run, and it just doesn't make sense. And then Juju,
is this what you thought? Like I broke this down with Smitty and Shaun the other day in Weddle. Like, this year's year 3.
Yep.
Willie Fritz at Houston's in year 2 and 8-1.
They're balling the fuck out.
But this is what Willie does everywhere he goes. This is the year. This is like what Colorado, I think, is what we thought Colorado would be. Houston, Willie Fritz, Signetti, Indiana, Leipold at Kansas. They're struggling though, but over the years that he rebuilt that shithole, just like Deion did last year. I think in year 3 is the year you want to see. That's why I was excited to see Deion coach year 3, because I thought in my world of 23 years coaching, year 3s were the defining year of the program in totality under your leadership. I built a culture. I have a recruiting foundation. I have a set in stone mission statement. I have Matt, you're responsible for Boulder. You have recruiting district ABC. Smitty has Indiana as his home base, but he also has the Midwest. All this shit should be like, it should be rolling now. Like Willie Fritz, guess what?
It ain't.
Their primary recruiting home is Houston, and then it's probably Shreveport, and it's Louisiana, and then it's probably Dallas, of course. But it's like there's no rhyme or reason on what's going on in Colorado. Is my point. And at the end of the day, I don't see the growth.
Nor do I. And I will say this: I truly believe they're a quarterback away. I think this team, the offensive line, is 50 times better than it was last year. They can actually run the football when they want to. I know last week was a bad example, and it was probably the most I've been embarrassed I've ever been. Even when I played, we never lost like that. I mean, I lost pretty bad in the Big 12 title game to number 1 Oklahoma my senior year. But again, we're playing for a championship against number 1 Oklahoma. It's not just a regular season game on Saturday night where you don't show up. I think that we can look at this like big picture here. I think the team had a ton of potential. I'm very concerned about the progression of them over the next 4. They're 1-4 in conference. If I could talk to them, I would say I've been there. My senior year, we were 1-4 in conference after starting 3-0. We won our last 4 and played for the Big 12 title game. It can be done. You got 4 more to play. Now, that said, I'll go full circle back. They are a quarterback away, and it is amazing to me, generally amazing to me, that this is happening right now. Why isn't Juju ready to play? No one asked that question up there. Why? And that he early enrolled and didn't play his senior year. And then he early enrolled in college. So why isn't he playing his senior year right now and learning and getting better? Because he obviously can't do it there. They're not developing him. He doesn't get an opportunity. They keep rotating between two guys who can't play or help the team. If they're going to continue to struggle, I don't understand the mindset of, well, he's not ready, we don't want to ruin him. I've seen multiple freshman quarterbacks all over the country that are just balling the fuck out. Are they struggling? Yeah, they struggle. But this kid doesn't even get the chance to fail or succeed. And listen to this before you chime in. I brought this up with Bailey yesterday, and it was after the show. Okay, just wrap your mind around this one. Shedeur Sanders is in Cleveland. Okay, and he's sitting third string, and he's not getting an opportunity. Your opinion on him, you can have whatever opinion you want. I think he's better than Dylan Gabriel, and I think he should play. But they don't want to play him, and they're not going to play him. Stefanski doesn't care, and that's just what it is. So he's going to sit there and not play, right? And Coach Prime doesn't like that. I don't care about the Browns. I care about Shedeur. You know damn well he wants him to play. He's just trying to keep his mouth shut, not to fucking compromise his son. Correct? We would all assume that's true. So, Dion, Coach Prime, why are you doing the same thing to your most talented player at the position on your own team? Why is it that you?
Shaun said that specifically.
Yeah. Well, I didn't hear that, but Shaun, I wouldn't be surprised because Shaun's a smart motherfucker. Why are you doing it to Juju? Why are you turning around and doing the same thing? Like, I've got a really talented player that could help us. The whole team wants to see it. The fan base is salivating for it. He just got here. He may struggle. We're already struggling. The quarterback with Caden Salter can't play. I mean, come on, coach. There's no fucking way that kid can continue to play. He's terrible. And I'm not just saying that like as a novice fan. The amount of reads he missed last week alone is just we can't win with it. We can't do it. So why is that? How is it the fact that Juju is not going to get any run ever just because? I mean, what are we doing?
He's saving him for something. He's young. He's a young kid. Maybe he's mentally. I'm not there, Matt. Maybe you are. I don't know if you're in the building and you know a lot more than us. But is he like? Do you think he's mentally ready? And Dion sees that he's not and says, "I can't play this guy because he just doesn't show us in practice." I don't know.
Yeah, I think that is a huge part of it. But I also think
he's 17, isn't he? He's not even 18, is he?
Again, that goes back to my full point. Why the fuck is he there?
I know his mom, actually. So, yeah.
Like, I've talked to his dad several times on the phone. I don't know if he likes me or not because I'm pretty, honest. I don't know why he's there. And I'm not saying he shouldn't be there. Like, I don't want him to be a buff. Why did you skip your senior season for this?
Let me ask you this.
Why didn't you just play your senior year and get 10, 12, 14 games under your belt and keep progressing as a player and then early enroll this year? He skipped his senior season and early enrolled, and he's still not ready?
Yeah.
He had an entire offseason and summer, and he doesn't know the fucking playbook? That's on the coaching, bro. I'm telling you right now, the players up there can only go as far as they're led.
Well, let me ask you this.
I'm questioning the coaching in Boulder big time right now.
Let me ask you this, though, because he's getting paid, so I don't understand if you're getting paid.
$1.2 million.
Yeah, if you're getting paid, I don't get what – it's not an ROI here. So I don't know what we're paying.
There's no return on investment whatsoever.
That's why I go back to why are we paying some guys? But anyway, let me ask you this.
I agree. This is my old. Why isn't Hill Green or Green Hill and Hood getting $600,000 apiece rather than giving it to a kid who's not helping us?
Let me ask you this in summation before you get out of here, and we got Shaun coming on. Where are you at when you say we're a quarterback away? Because obviously last game 50 points wasn't what you were referring to. You mean
no, I'm not referring to last week. That was bad, but they did beat ranked Iowa State. They lost by a score at TCU. They lost by a score against BYU, who's undefeated. They lost by a score against Georgia Tech, that's undefeated. Willie Fritz beat their ass. They did have two bad games where they got dealt with on the road. Yeah. I think that if they had a competent quarterback or an offensive coordinator that could build a scheme around the quarterbacks that they have, Pat's awful. They could win some football games. They would they would be in a more advantageous position than they are right now.
And the 50-point game is a combination of all that shit piled up over time because I've been there. I've been there as a coach. And if eventually you lose enough close games, you will eventually get blown out because you will lose the locker. You're going to lose the locker whether you think you have it or not. Look what happened to Miami Dolphins last night, Mike McDaniel. He clearly lost the locker room. It's
McDaniels
over.
they need to fire his ass right now.
Well, we got a bet going. I think he'll be fired before the show ends, but we got only about an hour left. So
I'll say this too. You know, if that game last week was embarrassing as fuck, it was terrible. How they respond. This is the most important game in Pry's career as a coach. The period. Like if Friday night or Saturday night, tomorrow night up in Boulder in a sold out stadium, if they come out and Arizona's good, they got a top 2 defense in the Big 12, and they got a fucking a really, really respected veteran at quarterback who's been through battles, who got his ass whipped last year by CU at home and wants to return the favor. They've replayed him 3 years in a row now, 4 years, or fucking 20 years, because they used to be in the old division in the Pac-12. The last time they were in Boulder, they put 300 yards rushing on CU in Prime's first year and beat them 34-31. This is no slouch of a game, and like CU's a home underdog, and they should be. They were awful last week, but if CU comes out and they lay another egg this week, and it's bad, and it's like Arizona's beating the shit out of us, and there doesn't look like there's any type of like response from the players whatsoever, we got fucking problems, bro.